Tonight, a local radio reporter is stepping forward saying he knew about the allegations against Doug Nelson last year, but was forced to keep the news to himself after he says he was scared off by Superior Court Judge David Roper. Nick Lulli spoke with him exclusively. He's been on this story, broke the story from the very beginning, and he joins us now in the newsroom. So, Nick, why did it take him so long to come forward?
Well, Saria, WGAC reporter Scott Hudson says he was scared, but says after seeing our stories, he felt it was now time to come forward. Now, he didn't want to go on camera for the story, but says he is fully cooperating with law enforcement. He's not only a reporter, but also a father. Having gone through a tough custody case of his own, Scott Hudson understands how hard the fight can be. It was his own experience that led Hudson to dig into the Guardian ad litem system, and what he says he found was troubling. It's the same evidence WFXG was eventually given by multiple sources. Reports of inappropriate behavior by former Guardian and magistrate judge Doug Nelson. He says his own investigative work led him to a meeting of Guardian ad litems where he says he listened in via source's phone. Hudson says when Judge David Roper found out he had listened in, word passed through the legal community that Roper was preparing a warrant for his arrest because of the eavesdropping. Hudson says he found out from a relative of his. Roper denies threatening anyone with arrest, but does say he suggested the recording of the meeting may be in violation of state or federal law. Hudson says this threat of imprisonment forced him to drop the story. Earlier this month, Hudson detailed his allegations against Roper in a report to Columbia County Sheriff's investigators. Investigators say there is an open and active investigation, but they're unclear on which jurisdiction that investigation should fall under. But Hudson says it's not only the police who knew about Roper's actions. In emails WFXG obtained, an associate of Hudson's emailed Superior Court Judge Daniel Craig his concerns. The subject line promised the email would remain between them 100%. In the email, Craig acknowledges Roper threatened Hudson with arrest. But when we asked Craig about the email, he said the only thing he could conclude was that 100% wasn't 100%. You may remember my meeting with Judge Roper earlier this month. Since that meeting, the police report with Columbia County had been filed, but when we sent a copy of the report to Roper requesting comment, he had no response. We're also awaiting comment from Roper on Judge Craig's email about Hudson's claims. Hudson says he hopes he can finally move forward from this ordeal that he says has hurt his family and his career. Now, sheriff's investigators say they should have an update on that investigation later this week or next week. Of course, we'll keep you updated. In the newsroom, Nick Lulli, WFXG, Fox 54.